I have a question. Let's say an Israeli, God
I won't treat
forbid,
them. I won't treat them. I'll kill them.
you'll kill them. So if an Israeli is in Australia and God forbid something happened to him, and he comes
Not
to your
God forbid.
hospital,
I hope to God.
would you kill him?
Okay, you have no idea how many Israeli Khara dog came to this hospital and I sent him to Jahannam. I
For
literally
real?
sent him to Jahannam.
A video went viral a few days ago. There were two nurses from Australia in New South Wales doing some kind of live video call while sitting at work wearing uniform. I'm guessing it was on one of those video call platforms where you chat to random people from around the world. They were paired with an Israeli influencer. But that's not why things got crazy. Things got crazy because of what these so-called healthcare workers said. And what they said got them into big trouble. Life-destroying trouble. And they deserved it. Welcome to the Weekly Brew. I'm your host, Chikamoya. This story is wild, and the ramifications from this will be huge. I want to play the full video so you get the context. Watch.
You know what? Oh, shit.
How are you, man?
Good, how are you, my man?
Pretty good. Are you a nurse, a doctor?
I'm a doctor, my man.
A doctor for what?
In hospital. What about you? Where you from?
I'm from Israel, from the Holy Land.
Right. You know what? I'm gonna be really honest with you.
All right.
I'm gonna be really honest with you. You actually got a really, really beautiful eyes.
Thank you,
But
man.
I'm so upset that you're Israeli. Like, eventually you're gonna get killed and you're gonna go to Jahannam, inshallah.
You
but
think?
like these pretty eyes, they should stay in this world for longer.
Why do you
like,
think?
I
Why
swear-
do you think I'm gonna get killed?
Because inshallah one day God will. and
Maybe because I
you're gonna-
served in the IDF. That's why.
That's definitely the answer. Correct.
That's the
Yes.
reason, because I served in the IDF. What's the problem with that? What's the issue with that?
Because you killed innocent people. That's why.
Killed? I
you
was
guys are-
protecting my country.
So you kill innocent people to protect your country. What kind of soul do you have? You have no soul.
In a war, people die, as you know.
No.
They started
No,
the
that's
war.
Not 1200.
Who
against
started?
57.
It's okay. Your time will come.
Who started?
and I
Who
hope to
started
God-
this war?
I hope you guys.
Who
didn't do
elected
the piece of
Hamas?
shit.
Who elected
This
Hamas?
it's Palestine's country, not your
Hello.
country. You piece
How
of
are you?
shit.
What's your name?
No, none of you.
We're
business with my
talking
name.
politely
Listen to me.
here. We're
One
talking politely
day,
here.
One day,
One day.
your time will come and you will die the most horrible
You
death,
sprayed
and you
hate.
remember
We
me,
sprayed
and I
positivity.
pray,
We spread
and I
protection.
want
We
you-
spread
Listen to me.
peace.
Listen to me.
And
when
you
your-
spread
when your
death.
time comes.
How
when
are
your
you
time
doctors?
comes,
Wait.
I want you to remember my
I have-
face.
Okay,
so
okay.
You can understand
Gotcha.
That you will
I have
die
a question,
the most
though.
disgusting death.
All right, for sure. I have a question though.
Yeah, what's your,
I have a question. Let's say an Israeli.
I
God
won't treat
forbid,
them. I won't treat them. I'll kill them.
you'll kill them. So if an Israeli is in Australia and God forbid something happened to him, and he comes
Not
to
God
your
forbid.
hospital,
I hope to God.
would you kill him?
Okay, you have no idea how many Israeli Khara dog came to this hospital and I sent him to Jahannam. I
For
literally
real?
sent him to Jahannam.
For real? So if just Jewish people comes there,
First thing I want to say is that you have to be incredibly stupid to say crazy shit online while wearing your uniform, sitting at work with the country you're calling from on your screen. There has to be some kind of self-sabotaging operating from the subconscious mind here. Come on. I can't be the only one because that's just insane. Do you know what the kicker is? The guy nurse talking is actually a refugee from Afghanistan. What is happening in Australia that these guys felt so emboldened and comfortable to proudly spew this kind of hate? We'll get to that a little later, but apparently signs of this kind of rhetoric was indeed floating around since October 7th. This ideology has so infected minds that even people living and working in a first world country like Australia are happy to wish death on a random stranger simply because of where they were born. Then there's the bit at the end, which, if I'm honest, shook me. He pretty much said that he's ended the lives of Israeli dogs, as he put it, who have been under his care. He said this while smiling to the approving giggles of his co-worker. Both of them are in deep trouble. This made international news, so the Prime Minister of Australia, Anthony Albanese, had to step in and say something. Watch.
I've been made aware this morning of a video circulating in New South Wales where it appears that a couple of health professionals in New South Wales Health uniform are indicating that they will not treat people from a particular country. Can I say how utterly disgusted and appalled I am at this video? It makes me sick to my stomach. As everyone behind me knows, it is the obligation of every single health professional to treat and care for whomever comes before you. The idea that you would single out a particular group in our community and indicate you wouldn't care for them runs against every single principle in our healthcare system. At a time of unprecedented anti-Semitism in our country, this is a particularly sickening video. I've seen comments from the New South Wales Minister Ryan Park, and can I say I endorse them 100%.
Those people subject to that investigation will not ever be working for New South Wales Health again. New South Wales Police through Strike Force Pearl have made their way out to Bankstown, and they will obviously be leading that part of the investigation, supported by information that they may require, obviously, from New South Wales Health and any other agencies such as the Healthcare Complaints Commission.
The guy nurse later claimed that he was simply joking. If he was, it was a terrible joke. I mean, it was so funny, I forgot to laugh. They're both now currently under investigation. In fact, as I was reading some stuff about the situation to make this video, there was some breaking news that puts the whole "I was just joking" thing into jeopardy. Before we jump into the clip, if you are enjoying my content and you want to see this channel grow, consider liking and subscribing. It really helps.
We have exclusive breaking news now. Police have found damning evidence against the Bankstown nurse filmed bragging about killing Israeli patients. Joining me on the desk now is Natasha Squarey with this story. Natasha, what are these new allegations?
Well, Angie, not long after the nurses were sacked, detectives allegedly found drugs in Ahmad Nadir's personal locker at Bankstown Hospital. Nadir allegedly asked a former colleague to empty his locker, but that staff member felt uncomfortable and called police. Officers seized 1 vial of morphine, and it will now be part of the investigation into this shocking hate video in which Nadir allegedly admits to killing Israeli patients. Now, following this drug discovery, detectives raided Nadir's Bankstown home last night and took away several bags of potential evidence. Police have confirmed they've received a file from the Israeli influencer who was talking to the nurses in this random online chat room. That full video is critical for detectives to move forward with their investigation and to lay charges.
Healthcare workers have power over people's lives. When you see a doctor or you get looked after by a nurse, you like to believe that you are in safe hands. You want to feel confident that they will do their job to the best of their ability. There's also a psychological aspect to this. Being sick or unwell is a terrible thing. Depending on the sickness, you might be completely broken down physically, emotionally, and sometimes spiritually. You have to put your full trust in the hands of the doctor or the nurse. There is a comfort in knowing that the person looking after you does not care about your politics, sexual orientation, race, and so on. As an adult, it's one of the few times when you willingly make yourself vulnerable. Finding out that your trust may be violated by a nurse or doctor simply because of where you were born is a terrifying thought. That's why this story has gone nuclear. It's like doing some light cleaning in your respectably clean home only to find a maggot-infested rot under your very bed. It would be shocking, disgusting, and you would wonder how you didn't smell it. It turns out that some people could smell it, and they were punished because of it. Watch this.
I'm sure you've all seen the news by now about the 2 New South Wales health nurses threatening to kill Israeli patients and claiming to have already done so, all while wearing New South Wales health uniform. See, the thing is this, I raised the alarm about this not long after October 7th happened, when nurses and midwives were chanting from the river to the sea while wearing New South Wales health uniforms. I wrote an open letter to nurses and midwives explaining that this chant is a call for the annihilation of Jews and that they should not be shouting this genocidal chant, let alone whilst wearing New South Wales health uniform. I also had meetings with APRA asking for something to be done about it in terms of regulation. But instead, what happened is this. APRA and the HCCC received 8 complaints about me, mostly about the post that I wrote, asking to have me deregistered. Whilst initially those complaints were dismissed, 2 of the complainants went on to ask for the review of the outcome, causing the HCCC to investigate and place formal corrective comments on my registration, all without my knowledge and without giving me my legal right of reply to these complaints. When I shared on Instagram about the rubbish complaints I was getting, all because I called on APRA to implement repercussions for staff who were wearing hospital uniforms while screaming out genocidal chants, not only did I have these formal corrective comments on my registration, but the sharing of what I was dealing with on Instagram with the people that followed me resulted in me getting a letter that mentioned consequences of jail time or demerit points. Now, this resulted in me needing lawyers to take it on, to have those corrective comments removed from my registration, and to get a formal apology from the HCCC for all of this nonsense, and a clear statement that there was no threat of jail. But do you see what happened here? Do you see the double standards? I asked for the end of a genocidal chant by New South Wales health staff while wearing their uniforms. Instead, I get formal corrective comments and threats of jail time. Then, New South Wales health nurses actually make genocidal threats in black and white and claim that they have already started the process. Now, I know these 2 nurses have been removed from New South Wales Health, but the HCCC and APRA need to do more. These 2 nurses need to be deregistered, and it's about time that APRA start regulating all registered practitioners in Australia, because you know that is what APRA is, the Australian Health Practitioner Regulation Agency.
She warned them and they came down on her. In my opinion, there are certain jobs that require political neutrality while in uniform. If you're a pilot, for example, I don't need to know anything about your political leanings. I just want you to look professional and know how to fly a freaking plane. More so, if you're a doctor, what are you doing chanting from the river to the sea in uniform? A genocidal chant against the only Jewish state in the Middle East, fighting a very complicated and difficult war. Even if you do support the Palestinian cause, I don't need to know about it. Just take care of me in a professional manner and we're all good. If I want to do politics, I will go and watch videos about politicians talking about this stuff. From what I've seen online, many people in Australia are deeply worried about this. How widespread is this? Can you trust any doctor wearing a Free Palestine flag on their lapel, especially if you're Jewish? How deep does this rot go? It's a scary thought. Anyway, that's all I got for you today. Thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. Until next time, ciao.